we need to get somebody in here to get the most out of it. I'm talking about Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Noah Fant, who needs to ascend to being one of those great tight ends in the league. And you draft Javonte Williams and also Melvin Gordon, who played well this year. So I think that's the focus, obviously, of what they're trying to get the most out of. And in that division, let's be honest, you got to put points on the board. You have to have a coach that can set up an offense in order to play with Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert. You are building for the future. You are going to be in some shootouts. And for as much respect as we have for the Denver Broncos defense and how well they play on that side of the football, the reality is in the NFL, there will be weeks where you have to go toe-to-toe and put points on the board. I think the hire was about that. And also, let's not forget, he coached Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Hint, hint.
I know. Adam said it wasn't necessarily why they hired him, but you never know how that could develop. Adam, let's get to some news on the Cowboys defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. What can you tell us?
Laura, staying in Dallas and essentially had gone around and talked to a number of teams for head coaching opportunities. But when it didn't materialize in Chicago, he pulled his name out. Didn't feel great about that opportunity. Obviously wasn't going to be the choice in Denver. Some of these opportunities, he figured, you know what, I like it in Dallas. I want to go back to Dallas. I'm comfortable there. And so he goes back. Keep in mind that Atlanta still is paying him the majority of his money this year. A year left on the contract that he signed with the Falcons to be their head coach. And I'm sure the Dallas Cowboys are very thrilled with having Dan Quinn back in Dallas. Not that that's going to stop all the Sean Payton speculation that'll swirl around that franchise for the next year.
Paul Quinn, Dr. Quinn, and the medicine woman, Dan Quinn. I don't care. I wanted Quinn to remain in Dallas, period. I told y'all on NFL Live a couple weeks ago that if we are going to talk about a coach leaving, and that's Dan Quinn, they need to promote him to head coach. But they got the best of both worlds. Jared wanted to keep Mike McCarthy, I'm sure, until Sean Payton decides to come back to coaching. And Dan Quinn was the key to this team continuing to build, and a second year with Micah Parsons, and a second year to build on what they were able to do defensively. I think it's going to be huge for this football team. They got some other things to figure out in Dallas. They got some other things that they need to do. But one part of this football team that was proven to be greater and way better than people expected them to be was the defensive side of the football. This is the most important move of the offseason for the Dallas Cowboys, keeping Dan Quinn.
All right, so Adam's been working the phones like crazy here. His news is flying around, even live during our show. You have a developing story on the Raiders, Adam.
Well, Laura, this afternoon, the Las Vegas Raiders put in for permission to interview the Patriots offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, for their head coaching job. He's going to go to Las Vegas to interview for that job. And you'd have to think that McDaniels would be very selective about where he would and wouldn't interview. And keep in mind that the Raiders already have interviewed the Patriots personnel man, Dave Ziegler. So now you've got a potential Patriots pairing, say that again, a potential Patriots pairing in Las Vegas that would include Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels, if that's the direction that the Raiders owner, Mark Davis, decides that he wants to go. But Josh McDaniels is in play right now in Las Vegas.
Potential Patriots pairing. I had to say it a lot slower than you did, Adam, because you're a better talker than I am.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.